guess who steps up? Liam Kelly, who was just put in for Jack Butland. He comes up with a massive save here. Woo, with the foot. We saw Bukayo Saka try Panenka against Thibaut Courtois to the left. This one's down the middle. I think it's much harder down the middle. It's a fantastic save, but Liam Kelly was incredible. They're 15 points behind Celtic in the league. Everything is in this competition. And they're dreaming because away form, remember, Fenerbahce, tough place to play. They won. Nice, tough place to play. They won. And Real Betis, tough place to play away. They won. They've done well on the road. They have to have an absolutely perfect performance tonight. Great defensively, set pieces, of course, but Václav Černý on the counter. He can break down any team in this competition. Watch out.
I'll just say that to Charlie's point. I have Athletic Club as my favourite to win this competition, but from a Rangers perspective, if you can't go there today and look to say that we can come back here for the final and use that as motivation enough to get the job done.
But isn't it motivation for the home side too, knowing that the final is in their own
that's
stadium?
Fine, but from an underdog perspective, for Rangers, you've got to think to yourself, we were down to 10 men for pretty much most of the game, and we came out with that result, and now we're here. We could come back here for a final. That should be the biggest motivational factor. Playing in the stadium now, wanting to come back again. There's nothing else to say.
We've both been in matches where you're not supposed to come away with a result. You're digging deep. You're giving everything you got. And you're looking at every teammate in the face. You're saying, we're doing this together. You dig deep. You come in the locker room after getting a result when you weren't supposed to. Do you know what that does for a locker room? It galvanizes the players, the supporters, and I think it's not going into this, they're really going to be feeling good about this.
At the end of the day, Rangers, you know those intangibles, they're always going to give them to you because that's what the club has been built on. But on the other side, Athletic, they know they have better football than Rangers. They're convinced of that. So if the football does the speaking, Athletic should get it done, but 90 minutes is going to be absolutely grueling. It should be a fun match.
What about one of the biggest matches of the first leg was Bodo Glimt upsetting Lazio 2-0. Obviously, Marco Barone came out and said the turf didn't help us, all of the things. But tonight, Lazio's at home, but they've got 2 goals to overturn. How do you see it going, Nige? Do Lazio have enough?
I mean, Lazio had a fantastic result in the Roma derby the other day with Roma drawing 1-1. But, I mean, listen, Bodo Glimt, I want to give them all the credit and all the plaudits. The first ever Norwegian side to make it into a semi-final of a European competition. They deserve to be here. They're not here by luck. They play fantastic football. They deserve to win that first leg. Yes, they have an advantage being at home, playing on that artificial turf, but they also can play on grass. It's going to be a very intimidating atmosphere, but Bodo Glimt are good footballing side.
Who have you got going through, Chuck, in this game?
You know what? I'm sticking with my Cinderella team. Bodo Glimt are going to make it to the semi-final.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. The pressure's on Lazio to overturn, right? Get back into it with 2 goals. But I think they've done such a good job of keeping the game, keeping control of the tempo. And they have players, given one opportunity, they can finish.
Nico, very quickly, who have you got advancing?
And there were some questionable stiff arms in that stand.
No, but that was very questionable. Bodo Glimt play well on counter-attack, like I said.
The supporters of Lazio?
OK, stay with us. We're going to get you going with the Golasso Show after the break. We'll get you out to the grounds in just a second.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
What golfers experience is PGA of America's game-changing technology. What makes it possible? 5G Advanced Network Solutions from T-Mobile for Business. From coaches using AI analytics to players using AR data to find the best path to the cup. T-Mobile helps PGA of America reliably connect with 5G. From the course to the clubhouse, PGA of America goes further with T-Mobile for Business.
If we don't score here, I might have to switch sports. Panicking won't turn a pop-up into a home run. Just like stressing about tickets won't get us better seats.
What about the unhinged prices? They're ridiculous fees.
That's why I use Game Time. On Game Time, prices actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch, even up to 60% off. And with the Game Time guarantee, I know our tickets are legit.
Yes! I did not want to have to get into pickleball.
What time is it?
It's Game Time.
It's all happening too fast.
What, you nervous about the wedding?
No, it's the house, dude. We got approved.
Bro, don't stress. This house, it's the one.
Speaking of the one, caterer. We need a caterer.
There's a war over my family's land, and they're losing it.
Critics agree 1923 is a hit.
This fight ain't over.
This is a hard winter, and it will drive you to your death.
Welcome back, everybody. Here is a look at what we've got to look forward to in the late kickoffs. 4 in the Europa League, 3 of which are tied on aggregate coming into the match. The other one, Lazio, who are trailing the Cinderella side, Bodo Glimt, by 2-0 coming into tonight's game at the Olimpico. Look at these teams. They are absolutely epic. Let's take you over to Old Trafford, shall we, where it's 2-2 on aggregate after the first leg between Manchester United and Lyon. This is the only path back to Champions League football and some success for Ruben Amorim's side. And it all comes down to today's match. What are we thinking, boys, in terms of the goal count? Nigel, what have you gone for in the late games?
I went for 14, Poppy. 14 was my number today.
Look at this.
Same day as my birthday, actually, 14. So, yeah, went for 14.
Unlucky number 14.
You put number 13. Friday the 13th.
We're all very low today. This isn't really in the spirit of what we normally like, especially
We're all
for you,
very
Charlie.
realistic.
You normally go quite high.
Yeah, well, I went low last time.
Manchester United vs Lyon. Thank you SOP fans for tuning in today's stream. Massive game we have here. Hopefully Man United can win this second leg and go through to the next stages of the Europa League, which will be the semi-finals. Otherwise our season is completely over. Anyway, my name's True. What I'm here to tell you is to check out our new TikTok. Just gone live recently. SOP True. If you're a fan of EAFC 25 and want to see crazy gameplay, crazy goals, and just want to improve the game, then check out the TikTok. What I do is I supply many tactic videos and also showcase you how to improve the game. With that being said, let's go United. Hopefully we can get a win here tonight. Peace. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the stream.
You heard it right there. True's got it all covered. But I'm here to tell you, please make sure you hit that like button. Please share this link out and help us grow the biggest, the best online hangout place for Manchester United games on the internet. Thank you for liking, and if you're new, subscribing, turn on that bell. Look at that team, man. True, thanks for playing all those Rivals and Champs games for me, because I wouldn't be able to get a team like that if it was not for your help. Let's go Manchester United. Huge game today. Let's get the win, boys. Come on!
Probably wish they would have walked away from Ibrox with a more significant result, but drawing away from home and having it all to play for at your home stadium is not a disadvantage. They did bounce back at the weekend with a thumping 3-1 win over Rayo Vallecano with a couple of golazos, one from Nico Williams, a brace by Oyan Sanset, a sensational goal. Rangers, on the other hand, they couldn't beat Aberdeen. They did salvage a late draw, though, that postponed Celtic's Scottish Premiership victory back by a week. So for Rangers, all their eggs are in this Europa League basket. Another even tie. Frankfurt 1, Spurs 1. This man says that he wins trophies in his second season, and as this second season at Tottenham Hotspur is coming to an end, that trophy will have to come in the UEFA Europa League. But before them is a high-flying Frankfurt side that here at home have been resilient. A team that has very recently been to Europa League finals, once in 2019, most recently in 2022, before they went on to win it. They're going to want to come back in just a matter of a couple of seasons. Spurs, on the other hand, let's see if they can get it done away. They have lost all 5 of their previous UEFA ties when they drew the first leg at home. Lazio 0, Bodo Glimt 2. Probably the more surprising result from the first legs, but not if you specifically focused on the brand of football that the Norwegians have played. It's been sensational, no notes. They have played teams off the park, first Twente in the knockout stage, then Olympiacos. Now they're going up against Lazio. You're my wonder wall, a wall that Bodo Glimt are going to want to crash and destroy. Let's see if Lazio can come back after a 1-1 result against Roma in the Derby della Capitale. Here, they are going to have to bounce back because their end of the season doesn't hang by a thread, but could be put in a precarious position after today. Chelsea were comfortable in Poland. They won 3-0 away, now bringing a 3-0 lead into Stamford Bridge. Legia Warszawa have only won once in their previous 10 UEFA ties when they lost their first leg at home. They did turn around the series against Austria Vienna in last season's Conference League third qualifying round, but this is a whole nother animal at Stamford Bridge. And in fact, Chelsea in this position has been perfect. They've progressed from all of their 15 previous ties when they won the first leg away from home. There's another game in the Conference League going on as well. It's Rapid Wien and Djurgårdens. It's the Austrian team leading 1-0 against the Swedes, but we are heading to Old Trafford where the game has already kicked off. There is Andre Onana receiving the ball at his feet. Nigel Rio-Coker, how big of a game is this for the Manchester United goalkeeper?
It's a massive game. You talk about every aspect of football, the technical aspect, the mental side of it. He was taken out of the game of the weekend against Newcastle where Manchester United were convincingly beat. Now he comes back into the biggest game of the season for Manchester United. He has to perform.
The man that was really the catalyst to all of this controversy, Nemanja Matic, for a second straight game in this Europa League, is on the bench alongside American Tanner Tessman. Up top for Lyon, it's Mikau Tadze, Ryan Cherki, and Thiago Almada.
5th meeting with Olympique Lyonnais. They have never lost, and a 100% record here at Old Trafford. Here's Yoro, critical equaliser a week ago, and looking to get Manchester United on the move, tangling with Tolisso. Lyon's set up in front of the back four, certainly very interesting and very fluid. Is Cherki picking up a real central position at the moment. Maguire with a tackle, summing up the kind of aggression and spirit that Manchester United urgently require tonight. Ainsley Maitland-Niles back in his home nation.
From Manchester to Chelsea, we go from the Europa League to the Conference League. Legia Warszawa on the ball. Watch out.
Wait in the semis. Here's Cole Palmer. Well, the weight.
That's a bad miss from Cole Palmer that maybe 3 months ago would have bagged a goal there.
Easily. It's great pressure. And you see Cole Palmer from this position He can go far post or near post, and the near post was completely open. He just, the accuracy just wasn't there. I mean, he had his choice. At the near post, it was easy for him to go high and near, but that's something where we would have seen Cole Palmer finish earlier in the season.
Cole Palmer hasn't scored since mid-January. It's a free kick for James Tavernier and Rangers.
Tavernier, long way over the top from the Englishman. He was speaking about the pain that he felt from the final defeat to Eintracht Frankfurt almost 3 years ago. That.
Wait for it. All right, expect a little bit better from the Rangers captain there. It's a goal kick for Athletic Club. A rocking atmosphere at San Mamés. Okay, and on that note, we go from the Basque Country to the state of... Okay.
Set piece could be a genuine route to success. Lenny Yoro will perhaps be a little more urgently picked up here after his goal-scoring exploits a week ago. And it would seem that Akuoka had cause to note the presence of one Manchester United player. And it was the aforementioned Harry Maguire. And that was defended solidly by the head of Nyakate. Hoyland, good play. Now Fernandez for United. A good piece of hold-up work there from Rasmus Hoyland that really set up the possibilities there for United. Bruno Fernandes moving forward, but lost for really good options, and Tolisso able to pick his pocket. Neatly done by Mikhail Tadze. Shirky making a darting run, track there by Yoro. Tolisso. Lyon won 4 times on English soil, but only once in a knockout match in European competition, that against Blackburn Rovers in 1998. Garnacho. Ugarte. Casemiro. Fernandez. Midfield duo for United, both at risk of suspension this evening. Fernandez fed. And it's worked well by Garnacho, and Ugarte with a chance! And just the lift that Manchester United needed. It's Manuel Ugarte who provides it. Well, a moment to enjoy for Andre Onana, who has not come under any kind of pressure yet. Ugarte's first goal in UEFA competition in United colours. And it's no surprise that Bruno Fernandes had a big part to play in it. Mazraoui feeding him. And the debate about whether he was on or off, he seemed to time it well. Garnacho with some really good work, pulled back into an inviting space. And Ugarte, although you'd never file him under natural goal scorer, with a very simple job indeed. We did so much a week ago, Bruno Fernandes, to lift United. A crucial contribution again, and Garnacho deserving praise too. Casemiro, and they certainly are playing with a bit of fire here. A bit of spirit. That's loose by Shirky, and Fernandes will pick up on it. Wants a free kick, which he won't get. Lyon taking a lot of risks here. Ugarte with another opportunity. Dallo. And Dorgu was arriving, been something, wing back to wing back. But Lucas Perry keen to instill a bit of calm. Well, he scored against Everton earlier in the campaign. He had gone 3 years without a club goal prior to that. It's a concerning sight when Bruno Fernandes is in difficulty. Remarkably, he has his critics, but he has given so much in a pretty dark hour for Manchester United. And any good things that have been produced this season, you can usually bet that he has been at the heart of them. Here's Nyakate. Remember, Lyon did lift themselves off the canvas and equalise when they trailed at home a week ago. And the responsibility of Andre Onana for that has been hotly debated. The statisticians do not regard it as an error leading to a goal, which they certainly do for the first one. But having made the very, very obvious mistake for the opening goal of the game, he needed to be flawless from there on. Well, cool head usually. And I have to caveat that after some of his behaviour this season. He would have expected a fast Manchester United start. Højlund arguing that the pull on the shirt was worthy of a foul. United had won possession back quickly enough anyway. Oh, and again a real game of risk from Lyon here! Oh, and that's a vital save from Perry. That could mean so much. Casemiro thought his luck was in. Through the legs, making it more difficult for the sprawling goalkeeper. But great work. One Brazilian thwarts another. Fernandes will have been disappointed with the calibre of his delivery. So many ragged moments back there from Lyon. Now they can break. The ball at Mikhail Tadze's feet certainly opens up the possibilities. Cherki, first chance to really affect things. And for once he disappoints. Almada, Cherki hoping to find space. Tolisso. Onana decisive, got good distance on it, but Lyon can build again. Mikhail Tadze trying to work it around the corner. There too, looking to meet it head on. And then he's clipped Bruno Fernandes, which will result in a booking. The first of the night. And a few with a cause to worry in this sort of situation, but he is not one of them. 4 Lyon starters at risk of a suspension for the semi-final. For Manchester United, Casemiro and goalscorer Ugarte are in that position. And it's worthy of note that after the quarter-finals are played, after tonight is completed, there will be a clean slate. Garnacho will get there first. Bruno Fernandes might yet run for him. Hopeful prod. Højlund and Dalot. Well, always swinging fairly wildly off target with his weaker foot. It's a little bit of a clumsy start in these kind of areas from Lyon, and there's another error. There's another potentially costly giveaway. Dorgu trying to dance through the lot of them. Tolisso breaks it up. Cherki. Well, now he's found his touch. And he'll move for the return from Vertu. This is promising. Harry Maguire stands up and keeps eyes firmly fixed on the ball. Well, he's a player that can see things and achieve things that others simply can't. And he has the potential to be a real thorn in United's side this evening. Cherki opting for something a little different from the corner. Now he will play it in there, where Tolisso was lurking. Nyakate. Tolisso gets Cherki involved. Vertu. Maitland-Niles. Akuaku. Almada. Tolisso lurking on the left. Mikhautadze. Oh, that was almost perfect. The doors closed in. Two defenders, Mazraoui and Maguire, almost like the underground train. And the ball, like the desperate commuter, not quite able to get on board. Almada. Lyon settling. Cherki. Oh, well, they've worked this superbly well, and Almada's shot was fierce. And it was certainly felt by Harry Maguire. Well, he really wrapped that one. And Maguire in some difficulty after that. Oh, and Onana able to make the save. He would have expected to be able to make it. Kuoko rising to meet. It's a good opportunity, that. Bit of a let-off, really. Another threatening corner. Maguire does get to it. Mata. And perhaps like Dalot a little earlier, expectations not high when it falls to him in that position. Although that was at least on his stronger foot. Well, remarkably, Lyon leading in the attempt count. Ugarte hitting the target and leaving Perry helpless. Casemiro's shot that he did save may well have beaten a good number of goalkeepers. There too. Yoro closing his foot on it to try and guide it to Yoro, but the Lyon pressure is a little more urgent. Needs to be. Casemiro scampering back. It's Mazraoui, whose part in the United goal should not be forgotten. Dallow's part in this might not be forgotten if Lyon can make something of it. Ugarte got a foot in, however. Here's Tolisso. Garnacho. Driving United on. He's got Højlund one way, but he'll go his own way, to Højlund's evident frustration. Well, on he drove. Ugarte able to stick with him. Højlund's reaction telling you he felt he took the wrong option. But all is not lost for United here. Casemiro trying to get free. It's Maguire who meets it! And the officials, the referee deciding it came off a United body. Lyon certainly grateful for the deflection. Maguire met it well, having won the wrestling match, but it certainly was the head of Tolisso. It's a foul. Mazraoui on Mikatadze. He's on a run of 9 goals in his last 8 games for club and country. His country being Georgia. Cut out by the effervescent Ugarte. This is really good work by Maitland-Niles. He's asked too much of Shirky. Well, he'll certainly be in the spotlight tonight. Lenny Yoro once again up in front of a big French football audience. And is almost getting there. Tolisso. Tagliafico very much part of this attack. That dart through the middle. This is Almada. Tolisso. There are two. Mata. Nacho at least creating questions. Karte now for Lyon. I mentioned Lyon's one knockout victory in England. Manchester United have lost only one of 8 previous knockout ties against French league opposition. It was Monaco back in the Champions League, 97-98. Famous away goal by David Trezeguet, eliminating Alec Ferguson's team before the knighthood. Tagliafico. It's a delivery of considerable threat, and Maitland-Niles able to arrive. And Yoro failed to decisively deal with this, and that nearly created a massive problem. And Lacazette bemoaning Lyon's inability to take an opportunity, which was part of the story a week ago, it must be said. Maitland-Niles. Here's Almada. Tagliafico, Toliso's in there. Yoro might be picked up here by Maitland-Niles. Mikautadze brewing with invention, but not ultimately what was required. The implications for United just about achieving any kind of success this season. Cherki, another dazzling run. It's brilliant work by Ryan Cherki, and Onana is there to deny him. Cherki once more. Well, that will make the Manchester United goalkeeper feel a whole lot better. But a little showcase for the considerable gifts of Ryan Cherki. A dazzling run. Opportunities are beginning to come. And Cherki will perhaps feel that that was one he could have made more of. Having created it quite brilliantly, it must be added. Tolisso. Cherki on to Maitland-Niles, who's a prominent figure at the moment for Lyon. They're too foraging. Akuoko showing some determination. A routine save for Onana, but they're mounting up. Well, brilliant. Absolutely superb run. And in fairness, he produced the shot at the end of it. Onana well within his reach. I suppose that's the only criticism you might lay at Cherki's feet, but he's embroidered the game with the run. Well, Mazraoui's forward ball finding Bruno Fernandes on the border of offside, but conclusively, ultimately on. Some great work by Garnacho. And Ugarte seeing his name up in lights as a Manchester United goal scorer, leaving defender and goalkeeper sprawling and putting Manchester United in the position where they would wish to be. And their opening to the game was everything that Ruben Amorim could realistically have asked. But at the moment, Lyon looking distinctly the better team. It's an excellent play by Lenny Yoro. Dorgu. Garnacho. Ugarte. Casemiro. Well, no surprise to see Lyon statistically confirmed as having a greater share of the possession. What the eye is telling you. Fernandes off on the charge. And he's been fouled. Bruno Fernandes! Oh, that was almost one for the ages. Such a difficult ball to control. Stretching over the shoulder effectively. To produce an effort of that quality was some achievement. It was almost the goal that will be talked about for decades. Yoro. Garnacho. Oh, the deflection. That was a could-have-gone anywhere moment of Ugarte. But from a Lyon perspective, to safety. It's going to be difficult for Perry, who actually did really well there. And Almada hoping to lead some sort of counter-charge. Good work by Cherki. And Almada back to Cherki. And the idea clear, Mikhail can at least briefly pick up the pieces. This is where there's potential for United. The run of Garnacho, the forward thrust, met by the challenge of the backward-running defender, Maitland-Niles. Højlund. Casemiro. Fernandes on the ground. Here's Dorgu. Garnacho. Højlund. Fernandes! Well, his frustration is about the challenge on him in midfield. But he's driven tonight. That shot driven just wide of target, always curling away in the end. Ugarte. Højlund. Well, dare we say the pendulum has swung again, and United in the ascendancy. Dorgu. Garnacho. Dorgu. Oh, beautiful ball into the perfect area. And it's an agonising moment for Rasmus Højlund, and he's had plenty of those. Garnacho. And like the contest a week ago, this is a really absorbing game. Casemiro and Ugarte making good inroads again here for United. You'll need a bit of help. He's managed to force a corner through his force of will. Maguire, surely favourite. Perry getting a good grip on that and taking the pressure right off. Well, a really fine piece of goalkeeping from a player who has graduated to the Brazilian senior squad. Tolisso.
Manchester United vs Lyon. Thank you SOP fans for tuning in today's stream. Massive game we have here. Hopefully Man United can win this second leg and go through to the next stages of the Europa League, which will be the semi-finals. Otherwise our season is completely over. Anyway, my name's True. What I'm here to tell you is to check out our new TikTok, just gone live recently, SOP True. If you're a fan of EAFC 25 and want to see crazy gameplay, crazy goals, and just want to improve at the game, then check out the TikTok. What I do is I supply many tactic videos and also showcase you how to improve at the game. With that being said, let's go United. Hopefully we can get a win here tonight. Peace. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the stream.
You heard it right there. True's got it all covered. But I'm here to tell you, please make sure you hit that like button. Please share this link out and help us grow the biggest, the best online hangout place for Manchester United games on the internet. Thank you for liking, and if you're new, subscribing, turn on that bell. Look at that team, man. True, thanks for playing all those Rivals and Champs games for me, because I wouldn't be able to get a team like that if it was not for your help. Let's go Manchester United. Huge game today. Let's get the win, boys. Come on!
Well, Luke Shaw going through his paces as United re-emerge. Ruben Amorim's team lingered in the tunnel for a long, long time before Paulo Fonseca's charges emerged before the start, and the reverse applying ahead of the start of this second half. The Lyon players have been out for a long, long time. And Luke Shaw certainly knows that feeling in a different context. Certainly appears he may have a role to play shortly. His role has been minor. His role has been significant in the attacking department, and the assist for the opening goal so vital. Mazraoui, player withdrawn ahead of this second half to allow Luke Shaw to take the field. So United defending the famous Stretford end and defending a 2-goal lead as we head into what may be, although Lyon will have to produce something spectacular to avoid it, the final quarter of what has been a compelling Europa League quarter-final. Ruben Amorim's team rewarded for a really vigorous start to the game. And a really cool finish from Diogo Dalot, and balls into that inside right channel tonight, or down that United right flank, have certainly yielded great reward. This is Luke Shaw on as a substitute at half-time, taking the left-sided berth in their back three. Lenny Yoro moving to the other side because it's Nusair Mazraoui who has been taken off at half-time. This is Dorgu. Garnacho, and he's felled. Clinton Mata conceding the free kick. Fertile ground this for United. Bruno Fernandes. Played into a danger area, Casemiro arriving. And his reaction tells you that he felt that was a really good chance. Wouldn't have mattered by the look of it. Yeah, good call. Clearly offside. Well, he did get free from a set piece, but clearly stole a yard or two there. Almada. Vertu. Maitland-Niles getting involved again. This is Ryan Cherki. Toliso's at hand. Fernandes desperate to get to him. The two captains in close attendance. Tagliafico. Almada. Shirky, Tolisso. Tolisso again. Shirky. And the outstretched leg of Lenny Yoro. Blocking the road crucially there for Manchester United. This is Nyakate. Almada. Oh, it's threatened to open up here. Tagliafico in prime position. Almada. Akuoko. Almada. Shirky. To Garnacho, so lively, so bright, and so menacing here. Oh, beautiful play! And Lyon let off the hook. A massive opportunity to finish it once and for all. And Garnacho, in his frustration, is carded as he commits a foul on his way back. But he left Clinton Mata bereft here on the seat of his pants. And then the pullback, born of disappointment, leads to a yellow card. Almada. Lyon keep losing it like that. And affording Garnacho opportunities. Well, that's the sort of confidence Bruno Fernandes has coursing through his veins. But they've lost the ball. And here come Lyon. Almada to Vertu. Give the ball to Shirky, that's never a bad idea. Foot in from Ugarte. Shirky not able to affect things as he would wish. Garnacho threatening to again, though. Dorgu. Again, Højlund saying that's a waste. Well, is he up for it or is he up for it? Mikatadze. Not yet able to really get into his elegant stride. Almada. Shirky up against Dorgu. More Casemiro. United able to get out of immediate harm's way. Garnacho a really good outlet for them, but Akuoko policing on that occasion. Almada gets away from Fernandes, feeds Vertu. Tolisso. Mikatadze. Nekate. Almada. Tagliafico. Mata. Mata's delivery. Tolisso on the turn! And Onana produces the reaction that was required. Every action of his will be forensically scrutinised. The sharp turn by Tolisso, down well, strong hand too. And it was a red-shirted defender who got there on the follow-up. So changes of foot here for Lyon, and Dad is back. Tanner Tessman has had some very happy family news since he was left out of that first leg. For that reason, replacing Akuku. Shirky. And the other change sees Lacazette on for Vertu. So a distinctly and much needed attacking change. Tagliafico was sold a little short there, and then he was caught a little late by Diogo Dalot. Almada's kick. Casemiro defended it. But there may be important work for them still to do. Almada's ball was a threatening one. Maitland-Niles, good disguise on that. Mikhail-Tadze! Ball, real confidence with the outside of the boot. Maitland-Niles trying to feed Nikate, the shot in the end from Mikhail-Tadze. Well, Paulo Fonseca's Roma were beaten by United on their way to the final. And they succumbed to Villarreal. Oh, Garnacho foraging again. He's cut an exasperated figure at times, Rasmus Højlund. And apologies to lip readers across the globe. Bruno Fernandes. A lovely touch from Højlund to Dalot. Dorgu! Well, another ooh at the end of it. Lovely touch by Casemiro. Some good football here from United. Full of determination and skill. Finish lacking. Tessman. Lacazette tussling to no great effect. Was that a foul? No. Lacazette. Tolisso. Some hard running here from Tagliafico. Ball into a reasonable area. It's a foul on Fernandez. The referee clearly getting his message across to Casemiro there, who would not want to miss a first leg of a semi-final because of a word out of place. It's potentially very painful for both there, as it has turned out to be. Dalot. That's terrific play by Diogo Dalot. And Tessman stretching. Certainly wouldn't buy the letter come under the definition of deliberate back pass. Worth an appeal anyway. Here's Tolisso. Shirky. One brilliant run in the first half. That sprinkling of stardust has not been followed up. Mikau Tadze, Yakate, Tagliafico, Tolisso. Tolisso again. Shirky possibly tried the more difficult route there, didn't seem on. Mata. A name often uttered in these parts. Tolisso, Tessman. Maitland-Niles. Shirky. Yakate. Lacazette. Just keeping them outside that penalty area for the moment. Tolisso. Now Højlund. Well, they found a way out anyway, United. Here's Bruno Fernandes. And he is in pain again. And Tagliafico, in the unlikely or increasingly unlikely event of Lyon reaching the semi-finals, would miss the first leg. Like Tolisso. Well, potentially a trump card from the substitutes bench here. Mikau Tadze withdrawn, and Malik Fofana coming on in his stead. Suffered a knee injury during the recent international break. He was representing Belgium. He's got 10 goals this season. Terrific display on British soil against Rangers at Ibrox Park earlier this season, where he bagged a couple of goals. Helped in no small part by the contribution of Ryan Cherki that night. Here's Garnacho. Casemiro. Garnacho. Pulled into inviting space, but it's Fofana who is the first to get there. His wounded knee certainly getting a test from Diogo Dalot. Welcome to the game. Tolisso. Tagliafico. Almada will leave it here for Fofana. Squirmed off Casemiro. And Lenny Yoro alive and alert to the situation. Little embrace for a member of the Lyon coaching staff in the tunnel before he came out for the second half. We also saw Diogo Dalot embrace Paulo Ferreira, the great former Chelsea defender who's on the Lyon coaching staff. Distinguished figure in Portuguese football. Winner of this competition way back when. So Maitland-Niles on the receiving end from Dorgu. So Almada with this free kick. Onana getting something on it. Fofana to pick up the pieces here for Lyon. Tagliafico. That rather untidy incident. Lyon have possession, but they have concerns as well. As Tolisso makes his way back to his feet. Almada. And Manuel Ugarte using his backside very well. Well, the expectations of this football club are so high. The ambitions should be sky high. If they were somehow out of the darkness to allow a little sunshine in by claiming this prize, you start to see building blocks for the future. You could afford them a place in Europe's elite competition. A lot of work still to do. Diogo Dalot fed by Højlund. United have only been out of Europe one season since the English clubs came out of the wilderness after the Heysel ban in 1990. Indeed, they, along with Aston Villa, were the first two clubs to return to the fray. United winning a trophy in their first season back, the European Cup Winners' Cup. Tagliafico. Here's Fofana. Tagliafico. Prodded away by Shaw. This is Mata. Cherki. Garnacho. Lyon's run potentially coming to an end. They faced a real scramble. It was last ditch last season that they managed to confirm their qualification for Europe. They've won a free kick here thanks to a handball. From the other side, so Almada can't produce the kind of delivery that led to the opening goal in the first leg, but he's certainly capable of conjuring enough quality to give someone like Nyakate in the middle there a chance. It's the head of Casemiro that meets it. Nyakate back in there, and there's the goal from Tolisso. And suddenly the picture changes. And suddenly the anxiety levels rise around Old Trafford. Not there amongst the 2,600-odd Lyon supporters. Suddenly they have belief again. Casemiro winning the first header. Nyakate back in. Lacazette gets a little flick. And Tolisso anticipated it. And he may not be around through suspension for the first leg of a semi-final, but he's at least given Lyon some belief that they may yet get there. Well, it's been a night where the respective captains have been a driving force. Bruno Fernandes's efforts considerable. Some real eye-catching moments of quality, but it's Tolisso, the Lyon captain, who's really helped his team. That's a threatening one. Lacazette will latch onto it. And Almada. Well, Lacazette claiming the armband since he's come on, but a wayward effort there. Well, he scored against Ludogorets and Karabakh earlier in the competition this season, Corentin Tolisso. He was speaking about what a privilege it is to play on the Old Trafford stage, and he was saying before the game how excited his father was at the prospect. Well, really something to savour, personally at least. Tolisso, Lacazette, Almada. On to Maitland-Niles from Cherki. Just standing it up there, that's Onana's all night long. But it's a very different situation, and you do wonder yet whether United may have a few regrets. Fernandes into trouble. Almada, no option outside. Tessman. Cherki. That's a good ball for Fofana. Oh, I think Yoro just lost his footing. It was Tessman. And fired in strongly. And Almada's in there. It was Maitland-Niles with the effort. And Onana was down. He got something on it. Here's Garnacho on the counter charge. Trying to get away from Mata, which he cannot do. Well, a dramatic sequence of action. Malik Fofana, aided by Lenny Yoro's loss of footing, able to make inroads. Yoro, well, that's not in many textbooks. But it squirmed loose here. Maitland-Niles was able to unleash. Sort of shoveling save, again, far from orthodox. Pretty much dived past it. But he dealt with it. Pause for breath, and a pause out of concern for Lenny Yoro, who certainly showed the level of desire to put his body well and truly on the line. Full marks for bravery. Well, they've travelled in force. They've made a lot of noise around the city today. They won't actually be travelling to their next away game against Saint Etienne. By prefectural decree, away fans are banned for what is now and again a highly charged fixture. Yoro's still off the field. United back to a full complement. Tolisso. Fofana. That's a good ball indeed. And Tagliafico's there, and Onana claws it away. But Lacazette has equalised. And the nightmare scenario has unfolded for United. One of their former charges applauds. And they're delirious and possibly a touch disbelieving. Malik Fofana, who was always capable of being a trump card off the bench with a threatening delivery. Maitland-Niles back across the face. May have gone in anyway from Tagliafico. Onana desperately trying to claw it out, but at any rate, Lacazette made absolutely sure. And jubilation for Paulo Fonseca. Tagliafico, with a distinctly untidy finish, will be credited with the goal, which has brought near silence to Old Trafford. And now they've got to do it all again, United. 2-2 again. But with plenty of time for more twists in the plot, and indeed extra time as it stands. Well, this is the sort of thing you feel could only happen to United, the way their season has gone. Fernandes to clip it in, Maguire hoping to meet. It's Dorgu forward once more. Lacazette trod on the ball, but the offside flag will come to his rescue. Testman. Shirky. Lacazette. Shirky again. Maitland-Niles. Shirky. Little change of pace. And too close to Onana to cause a genuine threat. Fernandes. Tanner Tessman made it his. Dalot. Won't run for Højlund. Tolisso stepping into really good effect for Lyon. This is Lacazette. And that's a ball of real potential, but Maguire read it. Cool work by Casemiro. Fernandes. Tagliafico. It's a foul by Ugarte, whose opening goal now a distant memory. Well, the goal line technology will aid us in accurately crediting this goal, and indeed Nicolas Tagliafico, who won't have scored too many like that before, is the scorer of the Lyon equaliser. Lacazette. Garnacho eye off the ball at a critical moment, and you may get a growing sense that his inability to take a really good opportunity that he made early in this second half may have been a major turning point as Mason Mount prepares himself for a cameo role. United holding out for a hero. Dalot. Casemiro. Able to shrug Fofana off. Fernandes. Oh, and Perry decided that was none of his business and was almost made to pay for it. Rasmus Højlund alive to it, but couldn't make a great deal of the situation. Tessman. Fofana. Tolisso. Shirky. Almada, Maitland-Niles. Dallow's head. Fofana will retrieve, though, here. Almada. Shirky fouled by Ugarte. And there can be no debate. Onana wishing to be certain all is covered. Familiar expressions being worn by the United supporters. Lacazette. Giving Almada the benefit of his advice. But he's a top technician. His compatriot Garnacho. Looking as though he was about to get some shut-eye there, but has to be very much alert. Shirky and Almada over this free kick, a critical moment in the tie. And it's the head of Casemiro in the way. And Dallo under pressure. And the break in play affords Manchester United the opportunity to make, well, it looks as though it's going to be a couple of changes. Ugarte departs the scene. Mason Mount is his replacement, which you would imagine means a deeper role for Bruno Fernandes, as was the case a week ago. And Højlund departs too. Well, maybe not, because Menu is going to come on too. Be able to tell for the moment, because United have defending to do. Mason Mount's first contribution is a decisive and effective one. Cherky. Well, it's been a tie, whatever the outcome of great drama. Some moments of real high quality. Menu is effectively leading the line with Fernandes in midfield, so it's much as we saw a week ago. Cherky. Oh, that just invited Dorgu in. Tolisso. Gallo was able to get a little flick round the corner from Tagliafico. And Tolisso, who's on a yellow card, catching Lenny Yoro. And that's the end of his night. And I can't agree with that decision. There is no way out. The red card will stand under the protocols, where a second yellow cannot be reviewed in the video booth. But that seemed astonishingly harsh to me. Well, Lacazette, who claimed the armband as soon as he stepped onto the pitch, is the main leader out there. And Lyon, having clawed their way back onto level terms, now have a player disadvantage. Bruno Fernandes. Oh, and has he caught the goalkeeper out for Perry across? Just potentially spotting the gap at that near post, but Perry able to repel all borders. The pressure remains on Lyon here. The window of opportunity open for United. Harry Maguire, always a threat that requires attention. Taken out of his road, back in there by Garnacho. Lacazette got a touch. Almada being pressed vigorously by the fresher Mount. Tanner Tessman. Lyon have won at Liverpool before in the Champions League group stage. They've won at Manchester City in that context. They've won at Everton in the UEFA Europa League group stage. Their only knockout success against Blackburn Rovers in a first leg of the UEFA Cup back in 1998. Jacek Bonk with the only goal. But their hopes stirred by dramatic comeback, diminished perhaps by the red card. Dalot, Casemiro, Lacazette trying to get an important foot in. Nikate has just stepped a little too far, catching the turning Menu. Well, he's been through some drama, as has Gary Pallister in front of him. And he knows that added time has brought United some memorable moments on the European stage. Bruno Fernandes delivers, Maguire battles, goal kick.
The attendance this evening is 73,228. Thank you for your fantastic support.
Well, with 20 minutes to go at the 90, extra time looked a distant, unlikely prospect for Lyon, but they're now a minute away from it. Good touch that by Lacazette. Here's Cherki. Harry Maguire to meet the challenge. He's a wizard with the ball, Cherki, but the added dimension that Fofana brings means Lyon have every hope. Header there, Tanner Tessman. A spectacular interception by Tagliafico. Any hint of a United counter-charge snuffed out. And so we go on. Paulo Fonseca's team have managed to turn what seemed a desperate situation around. Lacazette contributing off the bench with the assist for Toliso's first goal. He followed up after Tagliafico had seen his effort cross the line to make absolutely sure. And so we go into extra time with the score as it was in Lyon a week ago. Manchester United 2, Lyon 2. Well, United surely must feel with 11 players to 10 that they have a good hand. And while they've lost Tolisso in Lyon, you look at the quality and you sense perhaps that Lyon have the greater possibilities. It would be brave, it might even be foolhardy to try and make a definitive judgment here. Penalties lingers, and United have had contrasting fortunes in the domestic cup this season, in the FA Cup, where they won so memorably at Arsenal, only to succumb on home turf to Fulham. And as Le Marseillaise rings defiantly around the stadium, if we get there, Lyon will reflect on the misfortune in the cup to lower opposition. Bourgoin-Jallieu, to be precise, after a 2-2 draw. But the extra 30 minutes could yet yield a winner. It's their biggest game in Europe for 5 years since they faced Bayern in the semi-finals of the Champions League on neutral ground during the COVID period. They continue their discussions to the mild frustration of Bruno Fernandes. So Lacazette is now, from Lyon's perspective, the master of ceremonies. Well, some dispute about the correct procedure with the toss. Well, this is twisted and turned. It's been tortuous and at times torturous for those directly involved. Diogo Dalot had every reason to think in first half stoppage time that he had booked United's place in another European semi-final. However, everything has quickly changed. So Lyon begin the first period of extra time. At half-time, the likelihood of this seemed remote, but here we are. It's the 11 of United against the 10 of Lyon. Corentin Tolisso, scorer of the visitors' first goal, then dismissed for an offence deemed worthy of a second yellow card. Surely, for Lyon, with the reduced number, it's all about survival. But there are weary faces, weary legs, tired minds on both sides. Could he hold the key? Certainly holds United's season in the balance. What occurs in the next 30 minutes and maybe more. There's a script potentially for Andre Onana to follow. Should it go all the way? Here's Menu. Dorgu now for United. Garnacho. Tanner Tessman will certainly be fresher than quite a few out there. Eyes firmly fixed on the ball. This is Cherki. Tessman, chase on here for Cherki, but he'll get there. And he'll bedazzle and bewitch Maguire, who thundered into the challenge and will receive a yellow card. Prize asset requiring attention in all sorts of ways, but from the medical team here. Well, not the history of European success that Manchester United have enjoyed. You can say that really about French football as a whole. given their incredible contribution in terms of talent and their national team's success. The European club competitions have been something of a barren land in comparison. Almada will take the kick. Lacazette, a genuine fox in the box. Sprawling Manu got his head to it. Fofana. And Mason Mount shutting the door. Nyakate. Maguire. Lyon have been up in that respect all night. Lacazette. Good ball here for Cherki. Up against Dorgu. Oh, and hit by Almada. It'll fall kindly here for Lacazette, who was offside, as I'm sure he suspected, given the amount of freedom that he had. And there is no debate about that at all. But play to the whistle. It's a 4-4-1 effectively for Lyon now. Almada having to fill the, I suppose, nominally position amongst the holders alongside Tessman. Casemiro. Almada is there. He's suited to the position. He's played there a fair bit. Fofana frustrated. Dorgu. Fernandez willing to take charge. Garnacho. Fernandez. And it may yet fall the way of Garnacho's. He wasn't quite on the same wavelength as his captain, but he has it again here. It was a challenge with an element of risk there. Almada it was who made it on his compatriot. Christian Eriksen, Harry Amos at different ends of the spectrum when it comes to experience. About to make their way onto the field. Christian Eriksen has played in the final of both the Europa League and the Champions League. Manu. For Amos, it will be his European debut. Fernandez. Opting to play it in first time and forces a corner. It's not quite the moment to usher in the changes. Fofana potentially have helped it back into trouble, but found Lacazette. whether by accident or design. This is Almada, who looks up and only sees red, and that could be a problem for him. Fernandez and now Casemiro. Mata. Very strong driving run from the central defender. Cherki, Fofana. Able to get outside Casemiro. Quite the wrestling match going on in the middle. Oh, and Yoro stepped into very important effect there. An offside flag does eventually go up, but the young defender was not to know. So it's the end of the night for Dorgo. Yamas comes on. Garnacho certainly played his part for, or a prominent part for United today, replaced by Christian Eriksen. Shaw. Well, are we going to be put through the real emotional ringer tonight? In the penalty spot. Lacazette. That's a road to nowhere. It's a rather untidy passage of play. And the rigours of a European tie of this nature, both mental and physical, are going to have some toll on proceedings. This is Eriksen. Mount. Eriksen. Lenny Yoro. Oh, Fernandez. Oh, Navas might yet get in there. Well, suddenly the teenager was seeing the headlines, and he was perhaps, Bruno Fernandes, entitled to ask the question why others weren't also. Eriksen. A little overcooked, but Casemiro can pick it up. Asking a fair bit of Dalot. And, while he was willing to put the effort in, the rewards are limited. And that certainly looked the right decision. A few slips sliding away, particularly at the Stretford end. It's been a lovely spring day in Manchester. And a dramatic night. It's quiet to lack of a free kick in United's favour. Here's Cherki. As we close in on the mini break in extra time. Fofana well found here, and possibilities open for Lyon. Will it run for Cherki? Advantage play, advantage taken, emphatically. Ryan Cherki with an unerring finish to send that lot into ecstasy. And United's season coming potentially to an inglorious end here at Old Trafford. Well, a player of extravagant gifts, a player that everybody is talking about. And well, sometimes he's on the edge of the game, he's on the periphery. There's always a moment in him like that. Fofana doing so much to make it possible. But nobody's getting to that. And the 10 of Lyon lead at Old Trafford. And mentally, you struggle to see Manchester United recovering from that. 2-0 up, now 3-2 down. The French supporters and Paulo Fonseca, a picture of elation. They were behind in Lyon to that goal that Andre Onana will never be able to forget. They were able to recover, they led, then were pegged back right at last by him. They held what, for all the world, looked a decisive lead here. But that is the lot of Manchester United. And whatever Manchester United's current state, hotly debated and discussed, Lyon on the brink now of a memorable victory, one that they will tell the grandchildren about. And the young supporters of Manchester United not enjoying the pleasures and the delights that those before them did so often. Well, the team with 10 are in the driving seat. Ryan Cherki with a flash of inspiration that always seems within reaching distance. Ruben Amorim has to get their heads together again because they trail by 3-2. Well, the rallying cry has to come. The implications of Manchester United losing this match matter not just to a playing staff and coach, the financial implications of a club that is currently budgeting to be at least in the Europa League, are significant. Lyon fighting so hard to be in the Champions League through their domestic performance in Ligue 1, and currently in a position that would bring that reward, may not have to worry, because this road is still open for them. Lovely little flick by Tagliafico initially. Great run by Malik Fofana. He's finally thwarted. But that, a finish of devastating quality. You'd be hard-pressed to say which is Ryan Cherki's stronger foot, but that nominally at least is his weaker. It left Andre Onana with no chance whatsoever. Well, I know it's hard if you're committed to see it from this perspective, but a real classic European tie has unfolded in the last 7 days, and the destination of the spoils still unclear. United have to dig deep into the character we know that some of them do possess, and haul themselves back from the brink. They did it, they came from behind in Lyon. Referee making it immediately clear that any hint of a stoppage will be taken fully into account. Cherki getting to know the Old Trafford pitch a little better. And being helped on his way, because he is going to be replaced by Abner, the Brazilian fullback. His work is done. Luke Shaw. United without the Stretford end, so often a magnet. In by Dallo, Maguire's in there. The header back across by Mainu. Lucas Perry keen to eke out every second that he dares. Maitland-Niles moving somewhat gingerly back to his feet. Lacazette, Fofana. Well, that gap was too tight even for him, but he was fouled, and it's a penalty. It is a penalty. Euro is booked. Fernandez protests. The decision will, of course, come under scrutiny in the video booth, but Fofana, those dancing feet always luring a challenge. And Luke Shaw did move in and surely caught Fofana. The decision of Sandro Scherer, the referee, fully vindicated. Well, there's a chance here for Onana. To write some positive headlines. Lacazette scored from the spot at the weekend in a critical victory over Auxerre in Ligue 1. This is the time. And Lacazette makes no mistake. A quite incredible comeback. Beyond belief for those from Lyon. But United now seeing what's left of their season crumble into ruins. The epitome of coolness. And Lyon's place in the semi-final against the odds surely booked now. And Manchester United facing the prospect of only a second season without European football since English football returned from the wilderness of the Heysel ban in 1990. Shaw's delivery. Touch of desperation. Casemiro has a chance. He goes down. Desperate appeals. The referee waiting for the opinion of others. Now there's possibly contact there between Almada and Casemiro, but surely nothing of consequence. It's a tangle of bodies, that's the question they'll be asking. There's a kick there by Almada, and maybe from that angle there is a realistic case. But it's the consequence of the contact, not the contact itself, which will be the key issue. And that surely is a purely subjective decision. He's going to have a look. And because it is a subjective decision, that's the right call. Sandro Scherer has to decide for himself. So there's definitely, as Almada kicks, a contact. Is that sufficient to send Casemiro down? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There is another dramatic twist, and Manchester United are not finished yet. Well, Bruno Fernandes, the man inevitably to take the weight of responsibility here. Perhaps Manchester United's broadest pair of shoulders. They live again! Manchester United still fighting to save their season. And Lucas Perry in the goal did absolutely everything he could. But such was the precision, such was the placement, that the Manchester United captain was able to score a goal that could be a lifesaver. Tagliafico leaves the stage. Duya Jaleta is his replacement. Well, it's almost too much to bear, this. Shaw and Yoro almost getting in each other's way. Free kick in United's favour. Fernandez. Shaw. Fernandez. Will it run for Harry Maguire? He goes down and the referee is not convinced. But it's the time where you appeal for anything. Well, you're going to appeal, the shirt is pulled. Well, I don't think realistically it's one you're going to get. And quite clearly from there, there's a fistful of white shirt for Maguire. Lucas Perry needing some repairs. And suddenly the buoyant confidence on show in one corner of Old Trafford is now replaced by obvious tension, and that's the case everywhere. Where is it going to end? That was the head of Christian Eriksen. It'll run for Fernandez. Casemiro. Shaw. Clinton Mata got his head to it. Here's Lacazette trying to take some of the pressure off. Shaw. Mata. Bruno Fernandes. And Perry happy to watch it. Difficult, and the contact not what he was hoping for, but difficult to achieve. Oh, it's a... if ever a picture said 1,000 words, it's that one. Mainu involved, Mount, Tessman, and Fofana with one for Lacazette to chase. No unsettling Yoro. Fernandez. He must have thought about it. There's Maitland-Niles in the way. And with the reduced numbers, it's going to come straight back. There's no valve to release the pressure for Lyon. And the pressure keeps coming. Touched by Casemiro. Oh, it's really cool play! Amazing! Kobe Mainu! They haven't heard a sound like that here for a long, long time! The kind of drama that usually belongs in fiction has unfolded before our eyes. An extraordinary finish. Such coolness in the heat at the moment. And Manchester United remarkably have hauled themselves off the canvas. And they're still swinging. And penalties beckon. One of the great European nights here. Certainly one of the most extraordinary. Casemiro in there again. Maguire! Well, I'm sure many of them think they're dreaming. Classic Manchester United. It isn't Fergie time anymore. But we've been here before. As dramatic a night of football as you could wish to see. Casemiro's ball in. And Harry Maguire is Manchester United's hero. The central defender standing in as a striker has written his name forever into Manchester United folklore. And even amongst this club's storied exploits, drama like this, a game like this, well, has it ever been exceeded? The triumph in Barcelona naturally looms large over everything. What it meant, how it came. But this, to throw cliche after cliche at it, has been the ultimate emotional roller coaster. And it may not be over. Chaleta. Free kick, United. Well, we're all feeling the effects of this night. The goalkeeper grateful for the faith of his coach after his aberration a week ago, but ultimately it seems as though it will not be a costly one for United. Well, their time at this great footballing fortress will soon come to an end if all goes as planned. But this is a night to be put up there with anything that's occurred at this most famous of stadiums. Lyon have a free kick. Do they dare? Do they dare? They've probably only got one more chance in them. Almada. Tessman. Well, past the 5, but there have been a few eventful moments in that time, which the referee has to take account of. But that might get them over the line, as Diogo Dallo is suggesting. Well, for all the criticism he has endured, for all the agonies Manchester United have faced, the flip side here. And whatever role you play tonight, player, coach, supporter, privileged messenger, it's an experience never to be forgotten, winner or loser. And that's still yet to be determined. Almada forward. Lacazette. And Eriksen in there. And here's Fernandes now for United. Mount wants it. He ends up on the deck. There can't be long. You could throw a whole dictionary's worth of adjectives at this and not even come close to summing it up. Ecstatic scenes at Old Trafford on one of the most dramatic nights even in Manchester United's history. They thought they had it in their grasp. They then believed for all the world it was gone. But with nigh on 120 minutes on the clock, Kobbie Mainoo and then Harry Maguire produced some of the most unbelievable scenes ever seen at Old Trafford. With one stroke of Lacazette's foot, they thought a semi-final place was theirs. Manchester United had to score 3 then to win without the need for penalties. Bruno Fernandes stood tall, broad shoulders after a penalty was awarded. Mainoo and Maguire right at the last. And Onana, who hogged the headlines with his error in Lyon, is redeemed. Ultimately, it didn't matter. Manchester United move on to a semi-final. That may feel anticlimactic after all this, but they're there. Their season is still alive. Lyon, beleaguered, bedraggled, bewildered by what's gone on here, must turn the focus back to domestic duties where they still have a strong hope of claiming Champions League football next season. But the unlikely possibility is still open for United after a game we will be talking about as long as there is a Manchester United, as long as there is European football. The joy that nights like this bring us. Unbelievable. I think we've all got to go for a lie down now, because this has been exhausting, exhilarating in equal measure. They've got there, and at the end of the day, they will celebrate the how as well. Incredible. Manchester United 5, Lyon 4, 7-6 on aggregate.
Check out BetMGM Originals. Bets you can't find anywhere else. Bet on a player to score over 40 points or the double bang when a player makes 2 consecutive three-pointers. And raining threes, 10 threes scored in the first quarter. And so many more. New customers get a welcome offer up to $1,500 paid in bonus bets if you don't win. BetMGM, the sportsbook where we know how to treat you right. Download the app to bet.
Smooth from the 29-year-old.
Oh, Sorley absolutely smashes this into the bottom corner. Mandas goes the wrong way, but you can see right here, this gives that team the belief, the momentum that was needed after missing the first kick of the penalty shootout.
Guendouzi not even looking at the penalty kicks.
A few players do that, superstitious belief.
I wonder if he's even going to take one.
Well, if he's
Would you take one, Nigel?
No, I know my strength.
The goal scorer, Noslin, to even it out.
If I had to, I would.
In the 93rd minute, can he bring his team level in the shootout? Oh, no, he's missed!
Oh, my God!
Oh, boy. I feel sorry for them.
And momentum has shifted. Noslin, the hero in the 93rd minute. The man who sent this game into extra time goes well wide, Nigel.
Team, I think, trying to play too many mind games with the goalkeeper there. He needs to just pick his spot and go. I think he wanted to make the goalkeeper move, and it didn't, and then he didn't connect well. Drags it wide past the post.
Huge moment here for Mandas.
Bredemo scores! And Bodo Glimt are almost there.
Posted in from the...
Manchester United vs Lyon. Thank you SOP fans for tuning in today's stream. Massive game we have here. Hopefully Man United can win this second leg and go through to the next stages of the Europa League, which will be the semi-finals. Otherwise our season is completely over. Anyway, my name's True. What I'm here to tell you is to check out our new TikTok. Just gone live recently. SOP True. If you're a fan of EAFC 25 and want to see crazy gameplay, crazy goals, and just want to improve the game, then check out the TikTok. What I do is I supply many tactic videos and also showcase you how to improve the game. With that being said, let's go United. Hopefully we can get a win here tonight. Peace. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the stream.
You heard it right there. True's got it all covered. But I'm here to tell you, please make sure you hit that like button. Please share this link out and help us grow the biggest, the best online hangout place for Manchester United games on the internet. Thank you for liking, and if you're new, subscribing, turning on that bell. Look at that team, man. True, thanks for playing all those Rivals and Champs games for me, because I wouldn't be able to get a team like that if it was not for your help. Let's go Manchester United. Huge game today. Let's get the win, boys. Come on!
And the drama will go on.
Berg skies it. Bodo Glimt was a penalty kick away from being the first Norwegian into the semi-finals of Europe, and he skies it.
He gets the captain under the ball, completely under the ball. Wasn't a great penalty, and it doesn't reflect how much of an influential play he's been in this campaign for them.
Tati Castellanos must convert to send this into sudden death. Essentially, it's sudden death already, but he has to hit the back of the net. If not, Bodo Glimt are through to the semi-finals of the Europa League.
To keep his team now in this quarter-final, he has to score, and he hasn't scored. Tati Castellanos hasn't scored, and it is an historic moment.
A historic night for Bodo Glimt in Rome. The Olimpico is theirs. They are the first Norwegian into the semi-finals of European competition. Football has repaid them. Bodo Glimt deservedly through to the next round of the Europa League.
I cannot believe it. Tati Castellanos hits a poor penalty. And it's Nikita Haikin, the Russian goalkeeper, 29 years old, stands on his head throughout the match and comes up big in the penalty shootout. And Bodo Glimt, the dream run continues into the semifinals of the Europa League to take on none other than Spurs.
Let me just put it into perspective. Bodo Glimt is a club that hasn't even ever played Champions League. They won their third title last season. That was their third in 4 years. They're back-to-back Eliteserien champions. This resurgence has been notable, the way that they have been able to reshape their football, their club, the town of Bodo. It's been extraordinary.
It lies within, for people who don't know, in the Arctic Circle. It is incredible for this Norwegian club. And remember, Lazio came to Bodo in the first leg. They got blown out of the water, lucky to escape in just 2-0. And the coach Baroni said after, it's the turf, it's the weather. Well, Bodo Glimt again showed the quality that they have playing in Rome. They should have taken advantage of the opportunities they had throughout this game, so it didn't go in extra time. But to stand resilient and come away, phenomenal.
Okay, well, geography lesson over now. What I must say is, Bodo Glimt are sensational football inside. We've all been impressed from the start of this competition in how they play the game. They don't change. They stay true to their principle. Intricate football. They defend. They go forward well. Today, you'd have to say, clinically, they let themselves down, but they showed grit and character, which is what Charlie was talking about. They have been a sensational side, and make no mistake, they deserve to be where they are right now.
Extraordinary from Bodo Glimt. They get the goal in the extra time to then send it into penalty kicks. They are going to be a handful for Spurs, and that is going to do it. Bodo Glimt into the semi-finals. They will play Tottenham Hotspur Athletic Club against Manchester United, who dramatically made it into the next round. We will take a break, take a breather. We'll be right back and review everything that happened in these extra times. Pure drama.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And up to 495 pound-feet of available torque. And some really big plans ahead of you. And Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
I wonder why they call it a support beam.
I don't know, but it tastes load-bearing.
Ugh, an organ prone? That's it. I'll never eat here again.
Nope. 1 star.
Orkin, the best in pests.
Walmart Plus. It's Walmart plus free delivery. Because cooking food is a lot more fun than shopping for it. It's Walmart plus an included Paramount Plus subscription to stream Dora, so your daughter can learn Espanol.
Delicioso.
Plus, you get 25% off at Burger King. And that's 25% more savings to put towards things you need, like napkins.
Delicioso.
Our thoughts exactly. Basically, it's Walmart plus more ways to save. Walmart Plus. It's Walmart Plus.
Premium whiskey. This speaks for itself. Traveler is made to be enjoyed exactly how you like it. Neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Traveler whiskey. Easy to drink, hard not to love.
Why do couples choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can it keep me warm when I'm cold?
Wait, no, I'm always hot.
Sleep Number does that.
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Sleep Number does that. Shop a Sleep Number store near you.
You might have heard I'm going through a little upgrade with my tats. So when Verizon announced that everyone gets a free phone on any plan, pain-free, count me in. Try and beat it. I'll give you a sec.
You want to host a low-key brunch, but you're getting married. So, a bachelorette brunch. Ooh, bingo, baby. But it needs a theme. 90s bachelorette brunch. Okay. Or in our 90s bachelorette brunch. From silverware to silver hair, get everything for every party on Amazon.
Seeing clearly matters. Being seen matters more. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Your golazo moment of the half goes to Harry Maguire to make it 5-4 United come back from the edge of absolute death to win this tie against Lyon. They were down 2 goals in extra time, and look at the perfect header into the side netting. It could have been Kobe Manu, but it was Harry Maguire.
All right, so that's one pair of glasses.
Yep.
With prescription lenses,
Mhm.
plus anti-reflective lens coating.
Oh.
Scratch-resistant coating.
Did I choose?
UV protection. Award-winning customer service.
That's me.
That's also me. Free returns, free exchanges, and free frame adjustments for life.
And how much more is that?
Oh, it's all included at Warby Parker.
So my glasses
Are still just $95.
Oh.
Surprise! I just get excited.
If you have generalized myasthenia gravis, picture what life could look like with Vyvgart Hytrulo, a subcutaneous injection that takes about 30 to 90 seconds. For one thing, could it mean more time for you? Vyvgart Hytrulo can improve daily abilities and reduce muscle weakness with a treatment plan that's personalized to you. Do not use Vyvgart Hytrulo if you have a serious allergy to any of its ingredients. It can cause serious allergic reactions like trouble breathing and decrease in blood pressure, leading to fainting and allergic reactions such as rashes, swelling under the skin, shortness of breath, and hives. The most common side effects are respiratory and urinary tract infections, headache, and injection site reactions. It may increase the risk of infusion-related reactions and infection. Tell your doctor if you have a history of infections or symptoms of an infection. Talk to your neurologist about Vyvgart Hytrulo for GMG and picture your life in motion.
Teeny here is going to help me up my guesting A game with Philadelphia cream cheese. What do you need me to do?
Grab the cream cheese. That's gonna make the filling nice and creamy. You gotta be gentle with it.
And you go like this? That's going to stay in somebody's teeth for a while. So those are not potatoes.
Not potatoes.
As you bring it out, you want to slow.
Gentle. We're using cream cheese inside the egg, so it's gonna be nice and creamy.
You could sell this for $1 million when I'm done. So you judge in the comments below who made the best one.
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a load off Penny. Take a load for free.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Stay 2 nights, get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Well, I hope you didn't miss tonight's match at Old Trafford, one of the maddest games we've seen in recent times. United, they were up by 2 at one point, then they were trailing by 2 against a 10-man Lyon, and then it was Fergie time all of a sudden. Kobbie Mainoo and then Harry Maguire in the 120th minute to secure the Red Devils through to the semi-final of the Europa League this season. We saw fans crying, we then saw fans cheering. Onana needed a camera on himself the entire night. But in the end, it's all smiles at Old Trafford for the Manchester United fans. Good to have you with us, everyone. I mean, that just had so many twists and turns, didn't it, Nigel? We couldn't even believe it. But in the end, somehow, Manchester United came out on top.
I mean, we saw Alex Ferguson in the pictures earlier there. We made a joke saying, will it be Fergie time today? And it truly was. There's so many emotions you can see, not just from the fans in the stands and the players. We saw Bruno Fernandes's expression there, and he looked very tired because Manchester United made very hard work of that performance today. You can also look at it from one perspective in the sense of, can this be a defying win for the dressing room alone and the confidence and belief that they can get, that they can go and win this competition? Because domestically, their Premier League form has been absolutely awful. But can this win today, this comeback win in the circumstances, be that win that changes the entire season to go on to win this competition? That's the messaging, and that's something that Ruben Amorim can maybe use in this type of situation.
I will say, when you look at who they play next, an Athletic Club, that is the final. It's 2 legs, but if they get through that, you're either playing Bodo Glimt or you're playing Tottenham. And Man United will have to feel really confident going into a final if they can get by Athletic Club. But if you look at this match, talk about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because in the first half, they were creating chances. They were limiting Lyon with their quality chances that Lyon were having. Mika Tatse wasn't really all that involved. But when you look at the halftime changes for Lyon, they came out and they played a different match in the second half. And I look at Ruben Amorim and I said, where's the tactical changes? You brought Luke Shaw in, and things went backwards. Then you brought in players too late. Kobbie Mainoo, of course, he made an incredible tying goal in extra time. But for me, it's you could have dealt with the situation a lot sooner. And Lyon will look at themselves and say, we had this game. We were up 2 goals, down a man. We were up. Fofana was phenomenal. But Manchester United, they came back, and I think what you touched on, which is brilliant, is the momentum going forward, the belief now that they didn't give up. Yeah.
Here is a look at one of those moments in the match, Nico. They were down 4-2, and it looked really bad, didn't it, for Manchester United for a large point? I mean, we looked at this little boy and we thought, how it feels to be a United fan this season.
The emotional roller coaster he must have gone through, crying, thinking it's over. And I'm sure he probably wasn't even alive for Fergie time. And then you look at this now, this is the penalty that will be given. Almada will make contact with Casemiro there, and you talk about composure moments, and that literally is an attacking player trying to defend. You don't want your attacking player in the box like that. Fernandes picks the right spot, goalkeeper goes the right way, but the power takes it, and then you think, now these are the moments, and This is what I always say about football intelligence and thinking about the players you're coming up against. They put Harry Maguire up top, Nico, as you're laughing. As a defender, stay close. Stay close. You know how you got to stay close. You got to get touch tight. As soon as, well, this is actually so Mainu's goal. When Mainu comes down the left
Maitland
hand
Niles
side.
was out to lunch here as he was just drifting into space.
That was it, but you could think now, you could go to penalties, but this is the big goal for me in the moment. And the Lyon defender there, you've got to stay closer to Harry Maguire. Once you lose him there and he gets a push on your back, that's it. You're not going to get the foul. You talk about just the atmosphere. And from tears of pain, the young man went to tears of joy.
Good for Harry Maguire as well.
Good for Harry Maguire, and honestly, for Manchester United supporters, when was the last time they felt the exhilaration of a crazy European night like this? I think about that little boy that was crying. At best, he remembers United. This kid. At best, this kid remembers Manchester United winning the Europa League with Mourinho. Probably not. He looks really young. He's never seen Manchester United win the Premier League, and he has to hear stories from his father and his family or whoever made him a Manchester United fan about the glory days. And Old Trafford used to be a stadium like the Bernabeu that sometimes the inexplicable happens.
The theater of dreams.
Right? And today, Manchester United, especially at Old Trafford, Old Trafford recovered that mystique today. That aura, that energy that was lost for so many years. And I'm glad for Manchester United fans, after so many years of suffering, of being the memes and the butt ends of jokes, that little kid who supports Manchester United, who has seen many, many, many more lows than a couple of highs here or there, got to experience an extraordinary European night.
I would understand and agree with what you're saying, but when you look at it, to bring the balance to the conversation, they made hard work of it. And the reality of it is there's more questions than answers in that performance. I don't want to take away when we talk about the winning mentality and culture. Yes, you can use that as a manager in the dressing room. I mean, you can use that to your players. But on reflection of the game itself, it still leaves more questions than answers overall in the performance.
And the reality is, a lot of the time, you could say that sometimes they invite this pressure on themselves. Onana is maybe the best example of this. We talked about him coming into the match, obviously being benched at the weekend. And then, Charlie, in moments of that match, when there's still a long way to go, you see him egging on the crowd and really playing the mind games in the moment.
Yeah, he thinks in his mind he's probably trying to get himself going by riling up the crowd. But you could see he made some great saves tonight. He was also consistent and steady. You look at the goals that Lyon scored, you wouldn't point the finger at him in any of those moments. But again, don't add pressure to the situation. There's no need to go to the fans and look at Lyon and do that. There's no need for it. But I think it was, for me, it's a heartwarming feeling to see Onana run over to Ruben Amorim and both of them embrace. Because there was that moment that he could have easily been benched, that he could have easily moved on from Onana, thinking about next season, playing by Inder and saying, we're going to get a goalkeeper in the summer. But he stuck with them. He had a great performance tonight, and they're moving on. So I like the fact that you go from being down in the dumps to now you're on to the semifinal in the Europa League.
But Charlie's been very generous. I think for me, Onana, go out there, put the performance in and go in. Anything you want to do in the manager, you can do it in the dressing room because all eyes are going to be on you. I understand you can show a bit of character and personality, but for me, go out there, perform, and then just go in.
The goalkeeper conceded 4 goals today. That's also a reality. Like, they conceded 4 goals of the week, and they conceded 4 goals today. And although this is very emotional and it's very exciting for Manchester United fans, surely they're buzzing right now. I agree with you that both things can be true, right? 100%. It's exciting, it's emotional.
The reality is
you need to take a cold look at it and see it for what it is.
Whether we like it or not, he already has a target on his back. His actions can make this target bigger. Go do your job.
It could have gone the other way, couldn't it? He did have the last laugh in the end, but it could have very easily gone the other way for him tonight.
How's Matic feeling?
Well, he was probably enjoying those negative moments for Manchester United more than anyone. We kept seeing him, actually, didn't we, Charlie?
Yeah.
On the camera and looking
especially
on,
when
celebrating.
Lyon went up 4-2, and they're down a man. So you would expect, at the very minimum, being up 2 goals in extra time, you're going to defend. And when you defend, we're going to play tough as nails. We'll drop deep, but we're going to defend with intensity. And they were dropping off, and they weren't marking. That's the most confusing part, because you already know as a team mentality and the mindset is we're defending, we're seeing this out. Yet you gave space to Man United players and your own defensive third.
Mental collapse from Lyon. And that's the inexplicable part of football. Sometimes it's unexplainable. You know, I don't know if Ruben Amorim changed this game with his hand. Sometimes Old Trafford recovered that mystique. That was a one goal. You needed a catalyst. There was a poor penalty given away by Thiago Almada, and United and everybody felt that it was possible to come back with a man out. The door was open, and United took it.
Roll of the dice. We've seen it before. Harry Maguire always goes up top when there's any cup competition, lump it into the box, and it fell for them this time.
Well, for the neutral, that was a fantastic tie, wasn't it? 13 goals we saw between the two, but for Manchester United, they'll face Athletic Club in the next round. On the other side of the bracket, it's Bodo Glimt. They're through. They're the first Norwegian side to reach this point of a European competition, and they'll take on Tottenham Hotspur. We'll talk about that matchup in just a second.
This is Carl. He never really thought much about his credit scores until he got Credit Karma and used his credit scores to move on up. By putting in the work to improve his scores, he got access to a better credit card and that sofa she liked. And when it came time to buy a home of his own, Credit Karma helped him take things to the next level. Just in time. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on. Download the app today.
I used to think menthol cigarettes weren't as bad as other cigarettes because they didn't seem as harsh. Here's a tip. Heart attacks caused by smoking menthols are just as harsh. Trust me, I had one at the age of 36.
Menthol cigarettes are just as damaging as other cigarettes. You can quit. For free help, text QUIT NOW to 333-888.
Check out BetMGM Originals. Bets you can't find anywhere else. Bet on a player to score over 40 points or the double bang when a player makes 2 consecutive three-pointers and raining threes, 10 threes scored in the first quarter, and so many more. New customers get a welcome offer up to $1,500 paid in bonus bets if you don't win. BetMGM, the sports book where we know how to treat you right. Download the app to bet.
Socks, underwear, and t-shirts are the most requested items in homeless shelters. Bombas was founded to help, so for everyone you buy, we donate one. One purchased, one donated. It's a tangible act of kindness for those who need it most. Distributed by 3,500 giving partners across all 50 states. And with 140 million donations and counting, the impact is real. Visit bombas.com and get 20% off your first order.
Comcast Business doesn't just power businesses. We help turn them into logistics mastering, supply chain transforming, seamlessly restocking, frictionless paying, poke bowl ordering, cyber securing, mobile access granting, data managing. Welcome to the worlding modern businesses. Powering the engine of modern business, Comcast Business.
Welcome back, everybody. Good to have you with us. Well, a great night for Manchester United and a good night as well for the other English side, Tottenham in Germany tonight. It was 1-1 on aggregate coming into the match, Nigel, and then Dominic Solanke's penalty was the difference tonight to see Ange's side advance to the next round.
It was the difference. It was a rush of blood from the goalkeeper there. Came out, got caught in no man's land to concede the penalty. When you look at it again, it's a great run by Maddison, but for me there, you can only get ahead and there's not much he can do with that situation. And young goalkeeper, still learning his trade. Referee gets sent to VAR. Clearly, Maddison gets there before he does, but it's just, look, you don't know how he's controlling that whole entire situation.
This is the thing, though. I'm trying to figure out, because the keeper, Carlos Santos, comes out reckless, but he makes the save and clatters into...
But Maddison got the touch of the ball first.
Right,
Solanke
but he made the save.
Yeah, but he's reckless.
Yeah, but he's reckless.
Yes. Takes him out.
So Solanke converts, and we've got to admit, to say the rest of the game, it was all Frankfurt, and they had so many chances to maybe equalise this game, to take it to extra time, and they couldn't be clinical enough when they needed to be. And there's the tears of pain there. one of their top players.
It's so underwhelming from Frankfurt, to be honest, to be held to 1 goal. They scored very early in the first leg, but then didn't have much of a sniff afterwards. Tottenham answered back with a really fantastic goal in that first leg from Pedro Porro, and maybe you would have felt after the first leg that Tottenham should have gotten more in that first leg. Then you got to give credit to Spurs because they went to Frankfurt and held a really good team in their home, scoreless.
And a lot of questions around Ange, and he said after the match that they'll have to put up with him for a little while longer. Here he is speaking after the match with Dominic Solanke.
It was going to be tough, you know, playing away from home. But I'm so proud of the players. They worked really hard. You know, we had to defend, but we defended well. We had our moments going forward, and you know, I think over the 2 legs we deserve to go through, and we're in the semi-final now.
Obviously, we haven't had the best of seasons in the Premier League this year, but ultimately we want to win trophies, and we got a good chance of doing that this year with this cup. So, like I said, hopefully we can go on to win it. We're through the semi-finals in this group of players. You know, it doesn't listen to the outside noise. They believe in what we're doing, and I'm so proud of them because it was a big game for us tonight. There's no doubt about it. For our season, for everything we're trying to achieve, it was a big game, and we got it done.
Well, Anjoy's winning a trophy in his 2nd season lives on. The team that they're going to face, though, is Bodo Glimt, who really have been the story of the competition, haven't they, so far, Charlie? How good were they in penalties, holding their nerve against Lazio, who did come back and level things on aggregate?
What was so impressive for me with Bodo Glimt is even though they're playing away from home in a hostile environment, they still stuck to their game plan. They still stuck to the DNA of this club, which is passing and moving and not rushing and lumping the ball forward. Now, there were a lot of misplayed passes in their own half that allowed Lazio to gain opportunities, but they stuck with it. And they had a chance to end the game. They missed a sitter, and next thing you know, Lazio scores. It goes to extra time, and look they win in penalties. But we have to give credit to this Bodo Glimt side because throughout this whole competition, they've shown true quality in every facet of the game. Whether it's transition, whether it's playing direct, whether it's keeping the ball and keeping possession, runs off the ball. They just play a fantastic style. I absolutely love this team. They're the darlings of this competition, and they absolutely deserve to be in the semifinal.
Who do you fancy, Nige, Spurs or Bodo?
Do you know what? Honestly, Poppy, I've been so impressed with Bodo. I love an underdog story. I fancy Bodo Glimt. And I would say the reason why as well is that second leg is going to be at home to Bodo. And Bodo are more than capable enough to go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and get a result or maybe come back with a draw. That second leg on that artificial turf will be the difference maker. They're a good footballing team.
The one advantage I do see for Spurs in the second leg is that their 2 starting midfielders are suspended, one of which is Berg, who's critical to the functionality of Bodo Glimt. So they're going to have to survive London, take it back home, and do their thing, play football. If you ask me, which team has more football this season, Bodo Glimt or Spurs?
It's not even
100% Bodo Glimt.
Contest.
But what team's going to be under more pressure when it comes down to it?
Spurs, 100%.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it as well. Bodo Glimt have nothing to lose as underdogs.
They have an identity, so I also give the momentum to Bodo Glimt in the semi-final.
How entertaining has today been, by the way? We have had some fantastic matches. 3 of our 4 Europa League games were level on aggregate coming into the match day. Stay with us. We're going to wrap up everything we've seen in just a second. We'll be right back.
Skin problems made it feel like I didn't know which way to turn. Breakouts from stress and stress from breakouts. Dull skin from sleepless nights. And the changing weather drying out my poor skin. I didn't know what to do. But now my path is clear. Thanks to No. 7 Derm Solutions.
Rebalance, soothe and hydrate dry, sensitive, oily or blemish-prone skin. With an adaptogen-enriched formula for healthier-looking skin. Stop the cycle. Rehab your skin.
Dear Freedom, what forms do you take? More miles driven? More dollars saved? More life embraced? And more electrified vehicles than any other brand? Yours Toyota hybrids. That's right, Toyota has more electrified vehicles than any other brand. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
1 second, they're a neighbor you like. The next, they're a neighbor you trust.
Got you, no problem.
1 second, you're worrying about your home. And then, thanks to ADT, there's a lot less to worry about. Feel secure enough to let others in with Trusted Neighbor from ADT.
We all know our liver is important, but do you know how important it is? But it's actually responsible for 500 functions in the body on a daily basis. What I have been doing that I have been really loving for my liver support has been taking a shot of dose every single morning. I really believe in holistic supplements like this, and I just know that you're gonna find so many benefits from it. One of these shots is equivalent to 17 cold pressed turmeric shots. It's so easy to be consistent with because it tastes really, really good. So, cheers.
With 40% off the spring shop right now at Hobby Lobby. Bring a fresh spring look to your walls. Bring the garden into every room. Find something timeless wherever you look. And express yourself all through the house. Save 40% off the spring shop at Hobby Lobby. Spring is what you make it.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Golasso One final time tonight. We've seen some brilliant matches and goals, haven't we? Here is a look at the top 3 Golassos of the day, starting with Tati, Charlie, who was really heartbroken at the end after missing his penalty, but he did have this great goal.
Yes, it was an incredible finish here. It's a little bit behind him. He goes with the heel flick, first touch, beautiful finish. Only if he could score the penalty.
Well, it's a bit harsh.
And Gulliksen in the Conference League, great finish from distance. Ended up getting a brace in extra time, and Djurgården are the first Swede back in a European semi-final since Gothenburg in 1987.
He's been their best player for Djurgården. It's a fantastic finish.
And
Yeah, it's a
Charlie,
great
this
strike.
one's all you. Djurgården again with the #1 Golasso of the day.
Yeah, off the half volley, Kosugi, woo, inside the foot, he just gracefully hits it.
Kosugi caresses it. I like that. Kosugi caress.
It caresses up, kisses up the crossbar.
And this is a look at the bracket then, because Djurgården, after that, they're through and they will take on the Blues in the next round. Fiorentina, they've also advanced to the next round where they'll take on Real Betis. We've got a really interesting semi-final, couple of ties in the Conference League.
That Real Betis Fiorentina is a blockbuster semi-final. And Chelsea Djurgården, that is David and Goliath written all over it. So after what we saw from Chelsea today,
no respect for Djurgården, though. They put a Rapid Vienna player.
Zero respect.
What about the Swedes? First time in 38 years.
Zero respect
a
for
Swede
Djurgården.
makes a European semi-final. We got a Rapid player in there.
Zero.
Djurgården should go into this game with a lot of confidence.
Okay.
Unless they swap jerseys.
Maybe that's why.